No.
Oh.
I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that.
Did you rehearse that?
No.
Hey, what's up you guys, this is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today on #confirmed, we are digging into Devstream 115 with all of the juicy topics that they went over today. And trust me, there are some very, very interesting things coming soon. So without ado, let's jump on in. So straight out of the gate, they actually went ahead and showed us their progress on Nezha Deluxe. Of course, we've already got Vauban, and we just got the Nidus skin. So Nezha has kind of like a lot to live up to. Vauban had the crazy pistons, and then Nidus had all of the sick-ass armor, and I do have to say, this is looking pretty damn good. We even had a little bit of a dick slip, which is, I think, is the first in Warframe history. I think that's the first in Anywhere history, where you just accidentally have a little bit showing, but as you guys can see from the images themselves, Nezha does have a nice bottom half. Let's just say the whole bottom half is really good, but the top half is pretty cool as well, with that crazy dragon coming out of his back and all of that fire there. I don't believe that it's 100% complete. They were talking about a couple more tweaks to be made to it during the stream, but this is pretty damn close, and I think that he looks fucking epic. Alright, so Future Rob popping in here real quick in house clothes and everything, because past Rob forgot to intro this whole next segment with the fact that yes, Revenant is going to be coming next week, and if you're curious as to how you are going to pick him up, you'll actually be able to visit Nakak, and she'll have the Revenant mask there for you. So she's going to be tied into the Revenant quest. It shouldn't be too in-depth, but they did say it'd give a little bit of background as to the history of the Revenant. Regardless, let me go ahead and pass this back off to Past Rob. Boop. However, there were a couple things that they did want to mention. So one of the things I picked up was when they were actually doing combat with Revenant. Remember earlier when they were talking about having like 20 thralls at the same time? Well, it did seem that from the footage they said that you would have a max of 4 thralls. So just keep that in mind. I know we wanted to have a little mini army going along, but it seems like the numbers have been reduced quite a bit. Another thing that might be a tad bit of a downer is the fact that the Revenant two-handed katana is not coming with Revenant, and the main reason why they're not doing that is because it is going to be attached to Melee 3.0. So there's a lot of things that they want to work out with that, and that's completely understandable. Melee 3.0 is going to be a big project, so adding in another weapon type before Melee 3.0 even drops is a little bit advantageous. So they're holding back on that, but what we are getting is the Phantasma Plasma Shotgun. And just looking at the footage, it looks like it's actually going to be one of the continuous beam weapons. So just very similar to the, oh my god, the scissor gun, you know what I'm talking about? The Convectrix, and the Phage. It's all just hand motions with all of the beam shotguns. So it looks like it's going to be added into that kind of effect. They even showed off the new Revenant armor on Revenant himself. So I'm very excited about that. However, what I'm even more excited from is they released a little bit of secret information that was kind of going on behind the scenes. Of course, they did say that Garuda is going to launch with Fortuna, so that's going to be kind of like, you know, the Gara of Fortuna will be Garuda. And to be completely honest with you, right now it is August, and I kind of have a feeling that Fortuna is going to launch in September or October-ish, because that's when, what is it called? Oh, Jesus. That is when PoE dropped previously, so we might be seeing Garuda coming hot on Revenant's tail. I'm really excited to see what they do with that. However, the big thing that they teased is there is another Warframe in development. In fact, there are a total of 3 other Warframes aside from Garuda in development at this very moment, one of which is called Wisp. So I'm like, okay, so it's got to be Garuda. So Wisp has got to be like a male Warframe, but Wisp almost seems like, if you guys know Will of the Wisps, like those are like little light balls that kind of dance around. So I'm almost kind of thinking that this might be some sort of like light, like ethereal kind of frames. So I'm excited to see what they end up doing with that. But they also said that one of the Warframe programmers is working on a Warframe of their own concoction, and that Scott himself is also working on something. So I'm very excited. We've got Wisp, these 2 secret Warframes, and Garuda coming up. They didn't say that they were all going to launch this year, but it does sound like we've got a really exciting back end of the year, because we've only got like, what, 4 more months? Jesus! So that's kind of one of the things that they've been talking about that I'm very, very excited. The other thing that they went ahead and showed off was Melee Weapon 3.0 elemental effects. Now I'm crossing my fingers. I'm crossing my motherfucking fingers that these aren't like weapon trails, because I turn off weapon elemental effects because I think that they're ugly. Like, I want my weapons to look nice. I don't want them to constantly be sizzling with stuff, but they did show off that when you swing your weapons, in Melee 3.0, they'll actually give off different effects. So blast effects are going to give off something, corrosive effects are going to give off something. They actually showed, I believe it was one of the sparring weapons with some ice mods on it, so you actually get to see these like these frost swings that came out, which looked pretty damn cool. Now the place that they were showing this off was actually something new that they are experimenting with, so Lord knows when this is actually going to drop in-game, but this did make me very, very excited. And that, of course, is the Elite Alert system. So if you guys hadn't checked it out in a previous video that I made, it was called Veteran Problems or something along those lines. And I'll actually toss a link up to it in the corner where I was talking about, you know, veterans don't have any kind of prestige, like we want something more challenging. A lot of kind of like my ideas mashed into some more difficult nodes for the game, and this one is it. So they've got an Elite Alert system that occurs every hour. There are no revives. It's hourly. And you get high credit, high endo rewards, but they also have a cosmetic angle to it. So what you'll actually be getting after you complete your first one is, I believe, an emblem. And the emblem will glow brighter and brighter as you complete more and more of these alerts. So the thing about this is it kind of ties into one of the veteran problems with the prestige, not having any prestige in the game to kind of show off and look really, really cool, and also instant difficulty. Because that's the one thing that we didn't really have, so this one is one of those ones where you gotta be on point or you're done. So this is definitely something that I'm excited about, something that is bite-sized, but also a challenge. And within that event, they also talked about a new event that is coming, which is, of course, rebuilding the relays. Now, the interesting thing that they talked about in this one is that it's tied to Seal Meridian, but also the relay that you build will be a new relay. When they say new relay, I mean like it's gonna be a new relay. And they actually said that there were gonna be surprises in that relay. So I don't think it's gonna be the same kind of relays that we've seen before. It's gonna be something different and maybe improved. Very, very excited for that. Now on the other end of the spectrum, so I'm like DE. You're doing good, you know, we're getting Revenant next week, you're teasing some frames that might be coming out, we got Nezha Deluxe ready to go, and then, you know, they do things like, you know, login rewards 2.0, which I think, I'm just gonna say it, you know, let me give it to you first. So, of course, in Login Rewards 2.0, you'll be able to log in, and you'll have milestone days. And on those milestone days, you'll be able to pick and choose which items you get on that milestone day. I'm already rolling my eyes at this. But this is where Rob starts to get a little bit ragey, and maybe we should save this for its own video. But they also said that we're crossing our fingers that you'll potentially be able to get multiple of the same rewards and sell them. You gotta be fucking kidding me, right? You gotta be fucking kidding me. There are some veterans that waited, what, a year plus 2 years in order to get some of these weapons, and now we just gonna have these weapons in the market for sale? Like, people are just gonna be selling these weapons? You know, these weapons that we waited like 2+ years for? Okay? So, D gives one with one hand and taketh away with the other hand. So I'm looking at this like, hell the fuck no! Hell the fuck no! But, you know, DE is gonna do whatever they want with their game. You know, even have Zenistars for us to sell. Just to hand out to, you know, the Mastery Rank 5s. But on top of that, the one thing that I'm just saying, this is me jumping to conclusions. I don't know if this is because they're not going to be developing more and more advanced things for the login reward system. You know how we had the Zenith and we had the Zenistar and we had the Octavia and Zarkonis, whatever the fuck it's called. We had those. It almost feels like they're like, oh, well, you know, we're not going to develop any more of those, but you can get copies of them to sell. Hell the fuck no. Pass. Hard fucking pass. Pass. Take it back. Go rewrite it. Don't even make that a thing. But, you know, that's just my opinion. I don't really want to hear your opinion in the comments below, though. So let's move on. Let's move on to some of the funner things. One of the things that I'm really excited about, and this I actually saved till the very end because there's a lot of information that came out with this, is the KDrive system. They actually went ahead and showed us some of the grinding that you could do with it, some of the tricks you could do, and like I said, straight out of the gate, I thought KDrives were a complete joke, and I thought they were going to be super duper stupid. But the more that I saw of them, the more fun they seemed, and I'm going to be honest, they kind of seem... I'm kind of excited for these goddamn KDrives, okay? You know, DE taketh with one hand, and they give us KDrives with the other hand, so I'm like, do I not like you? Do I like you? What the fuck? So the KDrives are actually going to be created in 3 parts. So I'm looking at it as a very like ZAW-like system. So you guys know how, you know, we have strikes, handles, and we have links. Well, it's going to be very, very similar here where you have the board, the engine, and the turbine. Now, the board, the engine, and the turbine are not going to affect the stats whatsoever. All of these parts are just going to be the visual parts, alright? So keep that in mind. You are going to be able to mod these KDrives with things like speed, jump height, maneuverability, and combat openers. Those are actually going to be mods on the KDrives themselves. Okay, so first you construct the KDrive with the board, engine, and turbine. So there's just like your outer shell, kind of like a ZAW, and then you put mods into it to affect the things like you can do, like its maneuverability. So I'm really, really excited about that because it really legitimately just feels like a ZAW, but a ZAW for transportation instead. But the interesting thing that I heard them say there is they had things for combat openers. So they did not say that these were going to be things you'd be able to fire weapons off of. It's not supposed to be like a weapons platform that you can use, but it looks like you'll be able to like slide into an enemy maybe and then start bashing on them with your melee weapon. Or wouldn't it be cool if it was like the Simpsons arcade game where literally you slide into an enemy, you take your board and you smack them across the face with it? Yeah. For those of you guys who know that one, leave that in the comments below. So they've got that, and all of these things that you'll be able to do, like tricks and whatnot, so all the tricks and all of like the grinding and all of that, the jumps, the aerial stuff, you'll actually be able to unlock achievements and gain standing with what is known as the, oh my god, I have it noted here, it's the shelf kids, vent kids, sorry, it's the vent kids. And what will happen is getting standing with the vent kids will get you more parts for your KDrive, so more customization, which is really, really nice. But you'll also be able to find the Orvalis racetrack. So there is a racetrack in Orvalis for you to go ahead and use your KDrives in. So definitely very excited about that. It's one of those things where I'm just kind of like, I have a feeling this is going to be a thing that I'm enjoying. I've been enjoying farming on the plains a lot lately, so being able to use a KDrive and do some Wisp runs on Plains of Eidolon, definitely hyped for that. So that does about do it for me for now. I hope that I haven't missed anything. If I did miss anything, please leave that in the comments below. Just the big stuff. I try not to cover all of like every single aspect of every single thing. They did mention one thing that I have not talked about was Nyx's rework. They are going to be making moves on that. Rebecca has not finalized anything yet, but she has been accumulating a lot of information on everything that's going on with Nyx. So expect more word on that, but there's really nothing to say at this moment. So, you know, don't fall for the clickbait where people are like, Nyx rework. I'm like, not yet. We'll talk about that when that comes out. Regardless, that does do it for me for now. So as always, love somebody, hurt nobody and touch your body. Let me know all of your feelings down in the comments below about the Revenant Warframe that you guys have been seeing, Garuda coming out, all of that stuff, the alerts. Just don't talk to me about the login reward system. I'm angry. You don't want to see Rob angry. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!